Welcome back to episode 108. So, in last week's episode, you saw me finally get it back on the road, get it out and test that rear suspension. And I'm happy to say I've driven a lot since then and it's still not clunking. So I'm pretty sure that I've got all that wrapped up. I've even had a back up on the ramps and checked both front and rear suspension, check everything's torqued up correctly, and it's all looking good. So really pleased with that. In this week's video, we're going to be doing something different. So what I'm telling myself is that the car is now mechanically complete. I know that that's a fantasy, but let's go with that for the minute. So what I'm going to do now is start turning my attention to the inside. I've got the door cards stripped off, they're on a bench inside. Actually, I've probably shown them at various times across these videos. I'm really focused on those now. I want to resolve the big speak holes that have been cut in them. They look horrendous. They were once upon a time tan, you know, that light brown colour. Someone's dyed them all black, which is badly done as well. So I want to just kind of resolve that once and for all, get those door cards back in a fit state, get them back on the car, or get them in a fit state to go back on the car, and then start looking at getting this thing sprayed, which is another whole journey, piece of work, but we'll work that out later on, somewhere along the way. So that's what we'll be doing this week. Also this week I went along to the 9 to 8 UK meetup at the Merry Miller, which happens to be about 3 miles from my house. So I didn't really have a good excuse not to go. But I'm really pleased I did. It was an amazing day. The sun shone, I got all my head burnt, and I chatted to a lot of you cool guys. It was really good fun. And it was amazing seeing so many 9 to 8s all together. I think there was about 40, somewhere maybe even up to about 45 cars, all in the same car park, rumbling away as they do. It was really good fun. So let's just dive on into this week's video, see how I get on with those door cards. As ever, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, click that like button, leave me some comments, let's just see how I get on. Just stripping this door down, you can see, so this is my original driver's side door. And you can see where some ape cut out the speaker hole, and this is the main sort of thing we're trying to redo. So trying to take the vinyl, many people think this is leather, but I think it's vinyl in all cases. You can see the sort of material backing on it. Anyway, taking this off, and there's a couple of clips here that I need to sort of pull away. 1, 2, 3. I think they're the only thing holding this trim on now. Yeah, it's just glued all around the edges. Actually, will just come off straight away. And then there's sort of like a foam backing underneath, which I've got a new replacement one of those. Here I'll need to put something across here, some kind of meshing, and I've bought some metal mesh that I think I can, when I've taken the foam off, I can just stick across. Allows the speaker music to still come out. And then I'll put a coating of this on, which I need to buy some. It's basically like some kind of sort of netting. I don't know what it's for, but it's good. And then obviously this goes on top. So some very different work this time, away from the mechanics of the car, and trying to rebuild these door cards. So the first thing I've done is to strip off the, it's actually vinyl, I was going to say leather, but the vinyl cover, which looks like this. I'll hold it up, you can sort of see the shape and the size of it. My problem has always been this. I know I've talked about it a lot, but some animal cut that in there. I can't have that, obviously. You can buy these, I think they're quite expensive per thing, so I thought I'd try and make some. So what I've done is source some nice vinyl. So I don't know if you can see that. Actually looks a bit shinier than it is. It's not that shiny. Comparable, I would say. I'll hold the two next to each other. Sort of rotate it around, you can perhaps see. Actually the original is probably a little bit shinier. And a laser cutter. So what we've been doing is trying to work out how to set the laser cutter up. Worked with someone, Sergio, who's on also on YouTube. I'll give you a little link somewhere, probably down below. Who's also doing a 9 to 8, who also used this technique and has created a template that I can use to cut this. So that's really handy. I've done one already, which I've got under here. I'll give you a few sort of blasts of that cutting. I'll show it finishes, it looks like that. It looks pretty much spot on. So I'm looking forward to getting that on the car. What I'm doing now is prepping up for the second one. So I'll show you how I do that. I did the first one just to make sure I can actually do it and it all works. So I'll just angle you down, you can have a look. what we've got then obviously is the laptop running the software, a bit of software called Lightburn. It's very good, really impressive bit of software. And then the laser cutter. Now I've put a sheet of metal down just so it doesn't sort of get carried away. Interesting, I can see. What I did was put this here because I want to just try and work out where I put my sheet material. But it looks like it's telling me already from where I did it last time, and I know I put this into the correct location. So let's just put that there. Should be okay like that. I'm going to click start. I'm going to put my goggles on because this is a laser and it's pretty bright. I'll pop the goggles on. We're just going to let it do a couple of cuts and then we'll put the real material in. So let's click start like that. And say yes. Right. Don't stare at the light. Okay, that's exactly where I thought it was going to be, which is really good. So we can stop that. You can see the smoke burns quite a bit. I'll show you what it's cut. If I can just pull it out. So I cut those 4 holes, these ones here. It's pretty impressive really. Cut's really neat. I mean, it's a bit smoky, but there's no burning on this at all. It burns on the back side. But the back side doesn't matter, the front side is completely perfect. So let's thread in the material then, which we can just pop up the back there and slide under. I did that test run because what I want to do is work out how much to put through here. I'll explain in a second. These sheets are much bigger than I need, quite a bit bigger than I need, which is really handy. And what I did last time, I cut the left hand side, I had it material side up, like that. Backing up. Because I'm doing the other door, I'm going to do it with the leather side up, vinyl side up. And it's the same pattern that way. What I want to do though is just double check whereabouts I had the material aligned to. It's about there, so a little bit more. So I've got quite a lot of material, so it's not like I'm going to run out. How many did that cut? I cut about 4 holes there. So if we align like that. Okay, so I'm about the same sort of distance off the end, maybe a little bit more like that. That can come out of the way. Just all I want to do then is just make sure it's roughly straight. Something along those lines. Assuming the sheet is straight. Is about right? Okay, so that can just get on and cut now. It takes probably about 15 minutes to cut. It's pretty smoky, so I'm going to quickly open up some doors. Right, all the checks are done. I think I'm ready to start. Now, I don't like the fact the laser's sort of not in the middle there, but I think we just have to trust it. It knows what it's doing, although I might just unplug it. That's one thing I could try. I'd like it just to come back to 0. Ah, there she goes. All right, I feel happy about that. Let's make sure it's not going to catch on the material. Looks okay. I think we're all looking straight. The overhang's about the same as before. Let's click start and just watch what it does. Yes, and off we go. So it should be about here somewhere that it starts. Yeah. Now we can be measuring in the background. I've got the original one here, or the previous one, and it should line up about 12 centimeters from the end, which is, yeah, it's about the same, it's about 12, 13 centimeters, which is ample because I've got loads of extra material down the bottom side here. Right, all we do now is just leave it. So I'm going to leave you watching that, and I'm going to go and open some doors and windows. Right, I literally just finished that second run. I don't know whether I showed you or not on the video, depending how generous I was feeling. It got about halfway through and then for some reason it disconnected from the laser. So I didn't touch anything, so it stays exactly the same place. And I just started it again. and I'm kind of hoping that it all lines up perfectly and I don't have to buy more material. It's not a big deal. This is 12 quid a sheet or something. It's really cheap. Let's have a look. If I can, actually I can double it up on itself and you can see, we can see what it looks like. Now I think we've got away with that. Let's just try and hold it up. So, yeah, it looks perfect, doesn't it? It's hard for you to tell probably, but I can see that there are no, you know, where it's cut a couple of them twice, what it's doing is actually exactly on top of itself and it's just burning the little bit that it cut out again. Looks good, looks very good. You can see the back side, if I can get the sheet laid out. The back side gets a bit burnt, but it's not a problem, doesn't make any difference to it. The front side comes out really nice. There's a couple of little bits that still need to drop away. There they go. That's really good. Okay, let's see what that looks like when we lay it on the car, or on the door card. Right, the laser cut is just finished. Let's have a look. I've not actually moved it at all yet. You'll probably be able to see. Yeah, you can see all the little bits it's cut out. Let's have a look what it's like on the other side. I would say that is not looking bad at all. Now I need to just make sure that I've got it all aligned correctly, but I think I have. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. There's another quick test. The material just laid out on my floor with the original door card sort of vinyl laid over it. So you can see that one fits perfectly on there. It's approximately lined up. If I do that, you can see it's roughly lined up. And then the other sheet, this one we just cut, that's approximately lined up. Pretty good. And you see that accidental, the false start hole is there. So that'll be fine as well, because that's underneath what is the armrest, I guess. This all needs laying out a bit more, but there's ample material. So looking good. It's not a massively useful experiment, but just showing how that sort of fits over there. Enough to roll over the ends. This all is covered up by the armrest. Armrest comes sort of through here and sort of holds this in. Looking pretty decent, I think, though. I mean, it's definitely the right size. Need to replace all the foam backing. Need to clean all this up, it's fine. So across this hole here, I've got some mesh that I'll put. This will be, take all this foam off. This will go down, hold it flat. I may actually get black, or spray this black potentially, because it looks better when it's, you know, you're looking through like that. It should be black underneath it. But that will give it a little bit of rigidity so you can't put your fingers straight through the speaker. Not bad though. The next thing I need to do, if I just pull this all back, is resolve these this warping along here. That should be absolutely pinned straight, obviously. So gonna have to get some clamps and some wood on this, and probably soak it in. I'm expecting something like water and wood glue mixture. I'm thinking, really saturate it, clamp it all up, leave it for a few days, and that should dry out pretty flat, I reckon. Maybe a better view of how I'm saturating the door card here. What I've done is sort of spray it constantly with one of these filled with wood glue mixed with water, which when it sets, my theory is that the wood glue will sort of bind the cardboard together, make it really solid. You can see I've sprayed sort of around here and then straight across there. So all of this area will be stiffened, I guess. Where it's collecting down the bottom there, just sort of brush it up. Just let it really get a chance to saturate in there. That's had a lot at the moment. I'm actually surprised how much it's absorbed. If you watch, I put a really good, I've got the wrong angle now, haven't I? There we are. Get a really good amount on there, and it just keeps soaking up, which I guess is no massive surprise considering it's cardboard, but it's pretty good. So I'll keep doing this for about another 10 minutes, I think, really get it saturated. Then I'll put the clamps around it and leave it to dry. This has been drying now for a couple of days. I don't know if it's fully dry inside. All the edges are that I sprayed, so I'm hoping it has. It's been sat in the sun. I think it's worth investigating, and we'll see what it's done. And then I'll know for the next one whether I need to leave it for longer, or if it's long enough, or you know what, basically. Well, let's have a look. Goes away. It's stuck a little bit on the bottom, isn't it? I'm sure I can free that up in a minute. But that is flat. That is totally flat. I'm going to get a knife and just run it along there because I don't want to pull it and break it. Alright, so I've just peeled back the foam here. I need to sort of pull it off along the top there to straighten it. What I'm planning to do here then is take that clip off. This is obviously the hole that someone cut. What I'm going to do is put a piece of mesh like that and basically glue it on. This will come back on top, and then I've got a sheet of this sort of foam that I'll stick on here with holes in so the sound can come through. What I need to do first though is cut this accordingly, which is about, get it approximately right, something that actually, there's holes underneath, so let me think. Across there. I need to get two out of this, so that's why I'm pausing to make sure that I've got enough space for another one. Yeah, pretty much bang on. Okay, I'm really hoping I can cut this with a pair of scissors. Cunning plan to do the rest of this as well, so I'll show you in a bit. So that's going to go in there like that. That on top, perfect. Right, so let's glue that in place then. Not the tidiest looking job, but that's the wire mesh just glued back on. So put that down there, and then there'll be the foam goes on top of that, and then the leather on top. Well, much as I'd like to wrap that door card up in one video, it's not going to be possible. I've still got quite a bit to do. Namely, I need to actually attach everything back onto it. I need to look at the armrest. The armrest is where the plastic screws back onto the actual door itself. Has got all cracks in it, so I need to work out what to do with that. I know there's some sort of metal supports you can get, and I'll probably end up making my own one of those. And I obviously need to attach the fabric and stuff back on. I need to look at the actual condition of the door, of the armrest, because that's a little bit tatty, and I'm going to be re-dyeing that black in some way. But I need to sort of experiment with that a little bit. And then there's various bits of the cardboard that need reinforcing with fiberglass. I've bought a lot of super glue as well, which I've heard a lot of tricks about, running lines of super glue to reinforce it all. So I'll be doing that stuff in the coming video. I may try to get one door card done by the next video. I think that'd be a really good goal. But yeah, stepping on quite nicely, quite pleased with that. As ever, thank you for watching. Click the like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time.